Chapter 3. The Pit. Followed by his bodyguard on their shaggy ponies, Togrul trotted smartly from the town. The chain now wound around the pommel of his saddle clanked against the clumsy wooden collar that confined the neck of the Cimmerian slave. The muscles of Conan's legs were strong from years of toil at the wheel, and massive was his chest. Yet his thews ached, and each indrawn breath became a strangled sob as his master quickened his pace from a trot to an easy canter. Stones thrust jagged edges against Conan's naked feet. Once, when he stumbled, he was dragged along until the pony, unsettled by the unaccustomed weight of an inert body, slowed to a walk. Then the youth regained his footing and forced his bruised and bleeding limbs to carry him forward. At length the group dismounted for their midday meal. A skin of sour red wine and slabs of bread and cheese were passed around. Conan, listening to the men's rude banter while he munched his food, learned that his new owner was a pitmaster from Hyrkanian, a land far to the east beyond barren Hyperborea. Around Asgard and Vanaheim, sometimes together called Nordheim or Northlands, the red-bearded man traveled with his troop, staging fights for the amusement of local chieftains and their gaming cronies. Sometimes he lured, with promises of gold, neighborhood champions to do combat with his pit fighters, slaves, all whose final adversary was always death. As dusk turned the northern sky to steel and smudged the greenery along the narrow track, the sturdy ponies and the footsore young Cimmerian reached Togrul's encampment. Here, encircled by a rough log palisade, were several houses and sheds, a corral for the horses and pens for the pit slaves, men who had been selected as much for their savage truculence as for their powerful bodies and superior fighting skills. Togrul halted before one of the slave pens and shouted a question to the armored guards who lounged around the enclosure. Although Conan failed to comprehend all the Hyrkanian words, he gathered that his master was seeking someone named Olden. Olden proved to be a stocky, long-armed man with a shaven scalp who, after exchanging words with Togrul, the exact meaning of which the Cimmerian did not understand,